In this video, we're going to budget the second paycheck for the month of November for my husband and myself. Now, this is not a normal paycheck because previously I have not been getting paid due to the government shutdown. But in this video, I will receive my second paycheck budget for the month of November. And I'm also going to calculate the back pay that I received for 2 checks. So this is going to be a lot of money. I'm super excited because I haven't been getting paid for my husband and I, we get paid bi-weekly, so I haven't gotten a paycheck in 4 weeks. Really like 5 weeks, 5.5 weeks. So back pay came as 1 check, and then my second paycheck for the month of November came as its own check. So we're going to get into that in this video. Now, if you don't know, my name is Mo. I am on my financial freedom journey with my husband. We are paying off student loan debt, credit card debt. You're going to see a lot of credit card payment being done in this video. We're also saving for a house. We're saving for emergency funds. We're saving for life together. We're trying to do all things. We're trying to invest in our IRAs, our brokerages. I mean, we're all over the place because we want to do everything at once. Is it possible? I don't know, but are we going to try? Yes, we are. We're going to try. And I'm just letting you know. But I also have Paper by Mo. That is this YouTube channel. It is also paperbymo.com. I have free printables available. I also have affordable printables available. And on paperbymo.com, every Sunday, I post a brand new blog post talking about different topics. So make sure you go check out the latest blog posts. All of them are listed below, or at least the most recent ones are listed below in the description. You can click the link. But if you go to paperbymo.com and you click on blogs, it'll have the whole list for you. And it's just me talking about financial freedom in various topics, my journey, people around me journey. The latest one was about Christmas and Christmas gifts and what you can give somebody while they're on their financial freedom journey. So make sure you guys go check that out. Also, if you haven't already subscribed or joined this family and you like these type of videos, financial freedom, saving, debt, Christmas presents, all the things related to money, make sure you join the family by clicking that subscribe button and staying tuned. Really fast, I have been partaking in the last quarter challenge. So have you. Yes, I'm speaking it up. So have you. The last quarter challenge is just as it sounds. It's the last quarter of the year. So the last quarter is October, November, and December. We're currently in November. And the whole purpose of the challenge is to make sure we are prepared for the new year. So when we start doing our goals for the new year, we don't got no shaky foundation. We want to have a good foundation. November's almost over, and I'm going to go through the challenge that we're on now, but I'm super duper duper excited for December because I feel like that's when the goals starts planning. So make sure you guys go to paperbymo.com to get yours. Because I know we're all participating. You know what I'm saying? Am I gaslighting us? I don't know. We're having fun, guys. Okay, so week 3 in the monthly challenge for November. So November's all on one page. Previously, they're all on different pages, and the next ones will be on different pages. It was start a weekly financial review ritual. So I've only done this twice. It said weekly, so you could do it once a week. But I've done this twice. One, because we had this large amount of money that just came in because of the back pay. And then 2, we're preparing for 2026. So my husband and I, we have been sitting down having conversations, our 2026 goals, our 2026 money, our numbers. What did we do in 2025 that we didn't like? What did we do in 2025 that we did like where we're going to have to adjust our spending, all our numbers. So this is the 2 conversations that I have been having. It's been with my husband. And then week 4 that we're coming into, it's going to be practice gratitude and or mindful spending / journal prompts. I feel like gratitude really helps me, especially when you want to manifest or you want to create a different reality for you, right? If you want to make more money or you want to have less debt or you want to get a bigger home or you want to get that new spot, that new apartment, that new car, whatever it is, I find that having gratitude for what you already have, like if you already got a, broke down car or whatever, you got to make sure it's clean and have gratitude for that. Because look, at least you got 4 wheels that work. A lot of people don't have that. At least you have a roof on the car. A lot of people don't have that, different things. And it might sound childish, but I feel like it works for me. And so I'm just trying to again, we're trying to build these habits. And so I'm trying to like get you guys to build the habits with me. I do gratitude affirmations and manifestation every day. Every morning I wake up, I do it, but I'm going to try to do something a little different, financial based. So I probably am going to do like a little, like a little reel or whatever the videos are called. So talking about this one, but I'm super duper excited. And that is where we are with the week for November. And then the next one's going to be holiday spending. Woo. Okay. So this is going to be holiday spending challenge, gift budget, and DIY ideas. So you're going to get at least 3 in a row for the holiday season. It doesn't have to be, all in one week. You just make sure you do it. So maybe DIY a gift, budget $50 gift, secondhand gift. And I know people think that is so cliche and that's so rude. But what if you never used it? Now, if you used it, y'all, don't do that. But if you never used the candle, because maybe you didn't like the smell, maybe you need to wrap the candle up and give it to Jackie. Maybe Jackie likes the smell. I don't know. A gift of experience. People don't talk about this enough. Some people want to experience the memories cost more or mean more than the thing. So I'm excited about that. No new debt challenge. And woo, I've been swiping my card, so this would be hard for me. And then the yearly overview tracker. I said tracker. I'm excited about this because what was my total income for this year? Like, did I save or invest consistently? What were my total expenses this year? Like all the things, right? Highlight your wins, challenges, and lessons. And then we're going to plan out the next year. The goals, the saving goals, the debt goals, the actual numbers, and the plan out your year, putting it all together, right? Your bills, expenses, savings, debt. And then finally, we're also going to do a vision board when it comes to week 4, because that will be the end of the year, y'all. That will be the end of the year. So I'm super duper excited. Make sure you guys get yours. Go ahead and do the last quarter challenge with me. They are on sale. Now let's get into this November budget. So this right here is my budget planner. If you don't know, it's just a binder. I will be getting a new binder for 2026 just because I want to spruce up the experience. Maybe it's an unnecessary buy, but it's not going to be like $150. You know what I mean? It's going to be maybe $20 or less, but just a new little book. I do the inserts all from paperbymo.com. Again, check those out. Now, these inserts specifically when it comes to budgeting, it is Mo Budget Less Problems. I think that's what this one's called. And it's a digital download. That is also on sale at paperbymo.com. So you guys make sure you go check that out. I really got to go over this 125 bingo because it's been a minute. I keep saying it. I just don't know if I've actually productively done anything. Okay, so this November. This is the month of November, you guys. The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange for it. Henry David Thoreau. I don't know. I like that. This has been a lot, you guys. This has been a lot. So one of my goals was to get paid. Let me tell you something. From my mouth to his ears, because we're getting paid. So let's go ahead and pull these out. If you don't know, I do write hard. I did a normal November budget. Abnormal with just my husband's check, and then a normal with when I get paid and he get paid. So closing out is going to be interesting, you guys. Interesting. But let's go ahead and budget out this second paycheck. Let's close this. See, look, the binder's already really full. So there's that. Okay, and if you don't know, I like Pilot pens. Lately, I've been using this Skillcraft. Is that what this is? Oh, I'm sorry, Liquid Magnus. I write so hard and I grip the pen so hard you barely can see it. But I like this Precise V5 rolling ball pen. All of these pens are available in my Amazon storefront. The link is also below. Let me just check and see when we were supposed to get paid. So it is the 24th of November. Okay, so let's put that right here. 11/24. 25. Okay, so this is paycheck number 2. So, like I said, this is going to be a lot of money. And I want to explain to you guys a couple of things. Number one, my husband and I, we like to do zero-based budgeting. However, going into October, well, that first paycheck October, I received my check. My husband also receives his check. But we knew that, government shutdown was happening. So what we did was we did not spend that money. Okay. Then some checks in October and November, when my husband didn't make his money, we were able to just put a little bit aside and keep it in our checking account just for safety, just because we were worried, and that made us feel warm and fuzzy. What am I saying? I'm saying my check is usually $3,000. And in October, that first paycheck that I received, which is like your pay from September, but anyways, received in October, that whole $3,000 stayed in our checking account. Why am I saying this? You're going to see, because it's going to be a lot of money. Usually we starting off with $0, right? When we do our starting, but this time we did not start with $0 because we had money already there. So let's get our calculator. This is also available on my Amazon storefront, and let's just do these numbers. Y'all, it's a lot. So we actually ended up starting with $5,346, $346. I'm being honest with all of these numbers. There is no point in lying, y'all. Okay, so I write ugly. I'm just be honest. Okay, so $5,346.30. Now, this is a lot of money, but also we've been spending a lot on our credit cards. So you're going to see when it comes to our debt, I'm not going to say we have to, but we chose to go ahead and pay off all of our credit cards. So that's $5,346.30. And that's where we're starting. Now, we're going to start off with my husband's O's full time. And then we're going to do Mo's full time. And like I said, I got my back pay for the previous 2 checks in a different payment. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to call this back pay. So back pay. Okay. So my husband's full time was $1,804, $1,804.51. Okay, and then my full time, now this was a little higher. Usually my full time is like $3,000 flat, but I was trying to prep for it being all one check, right? I thought they were going to give the 3 checks in one. So my November 1st paycheck, my November 2nd paycheck, and my October 2nd paycheck. I thought they were going to give it to all of us in one. And so that meant it was going to be higher tax, but they didn't do that. They gave it to us in 2. So 1, you get your November 2nd check. That was like regular. And then they also gave the October 2nd check and November 1st check in 1, but they taxed it regular, which I was so happy and so freaking grateful for it. But again, I kind of adjusted my taxes. And so we're going to have to see next year what that looks like. Granted, I'm not too worried, because when I got my job gave me like a location assistance, and that was $15,000. When I got to the DMV area, I got the location assistance. Taxes ate it up. I'm talking like if I want to say 8, 7, it was 15 and 20. I'm trying to think, guys. They took maybe $8,000 or $10,000 worth of taxes. It was actually insane. It was absolutely insane. So more of the story is, I feel like we're going to be kind of okay, but I did change my taxes back. 1, so my numbers will go back to normal. And 2, I upped my 401k, and as did my husband. So moving forward, my checks are going to be smaller. So there we go. So my husband's $1,804.51. And then mine ended up being $3,000. This is like for the November 2nd paycheck. So it was $3,385.42. Now the back pay, remember this is 2 checks. This was $6,294.51. Okay, so one thing I also want to put and I want to say is that, okay, my husband and I, we were blessed in this situation because 1, we were a month ahead of our bills. So we wasn't getting paid. I didn't get paid the 2nd paycheck in October, but with the 1st paycheck in October and even in September, we were already prepared. Like our October bills were covered. When it came to our November bills, we moved a little bit different. But remember that 1st paycheck in October, we took money for some bills, but most of the money we did not touch. We didn't have to, because not only were we a month ahead, that month ahead account also had a little overflow. I hope this makes sense. So if our bills were $2,000, maybe that bill checking account maybe had 3,000, right? So you had a month and a half. So we weren't horrible. We weren't worse off or just like distraught, and we never had to touch our savings. Okay. I hope I'm trying to put that out there. So I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I do feel like this channel, managing our money, put us in a very good position. I will say my husband and I are still a little worried because in January, we might be back in a situation where there's another government shutdown. So we're trying to get it together. But we're not, like I said, we're not destitute. We're not horrible. We do like and prefer. And I will tell you this means I will never stop doing at minimum a month ahead, because this right here is the reason. So with all that said, let's add these numbers up. So our starting, which was in our checking, was $5,346.30 plus $1,804.51 plus $3,385.42 plus $6,294.51. Look at that. That is, it's crazy. It's a lot of money all at once. But I'm happy. I'm joyous. I'm so grateful. Because it's been a lot. It's been a lot, especially when you got to go to work every day and you're not getting a paycheck. But we made it work, and I'm so grateful. Okay, so we have $16,830.74. I also say another thing about this made my husband and I realize that even when we do eventually purchase a home, we do not want it to be where one person can afford it and one person can't, like with what they bring home. Right now, with where we live and what we're paying with rent and all the things, we both can afford it with each of our paychecks. You know what I mean? We might be a little tight sometimes, but we both can afford it, and we want to keep it that way. That's just preferable to us. And I know that's kind of hard in the DMV area, so, life. Okay, so first things first, if you don't know, when it comes to like our bills, that's what the fixed expenses are. We usually cut them in half, meaning, the first paycheck usually gets all the bills, right? But we do cut our rent in half and our water and sewage in half. So that's what this second paycheck is going to cover. And that's going to be it. Now, there's a couple things that we did not include on here, like our, what is it called? Subscriptions. We didn't include our subscriptions because it just gets charged on our credit card. So when you see me put the credit cards here, and y'all, it's ridiculous, the number between the both of us, but we're human and we're flawed, and we did what we did. We felt like it was safer to swipe the credit card. That's our choice, whatever. So we didn't do our subscriptions, but it's going to be covered in our debt. So we're going to go ahead and put rent, and then we're going to go ahead and put water/sewage. Now they both end up coming out the same. And now usually we do like 7 something for rent, but my husband and I decided we're just going to do $825 so we can build back up our bill account. We just like to give it a little extra because times like these, right? So $825, and we do $52.50 for the water and sewage. Now, if I'm being honest with you, when my husband and I looked at the numbers, when it came to the water and sewage, we usually end up owing like $70, $80 a month. We do $52.50, so that means we're putting away $105. So that difference from what we owe and what we're putting away usually works in our favor, because that can sit in our checking account, and then maybe when our electricity is higher than we expect, or I don't know, when I'm going to work every day and I'm not getting paid, we be okay. Things like that. So we did $825 and $52.50. Let's do some math. Can y'all see that? $825 plus $52.50, that's $877.50. Okay, so now we're going to take that and we're going to subtract $16,000 crazy, $830.74. So what we have left is $15,953.24. 15,953.24. So then we're going to take this number and we're going to come here to our variable expenses. Okay. Okay, so when it comes to our variable expenses, there's a few things that we do have. First and foremost, most importantly, to me at least, is food. We give that $250 every 2 weeks. Now, gas for my husband, gas for me. So he gives 35, I give 35. We have older cars. They are both paid off. They're high in mileage, which always makes me think like we need to save more for our sinking funds because eventually we're gonna need a new car. Also in GMV, it snows. We're not used to snow at all. That's kind of scary. Eventually I would like a truck, but I would never buy anything new. Not with the way anything costs these days. And we went back to regular when it comes to our fun money. Regular for us is $50 every paycheck. I'll be honest, my husband and I was trying to like not budget fun in October, that first paycheck where I didn't get paid. We just did it for no reason because just because you don't budget it doesn't mean you don't spend it. So might as well budget it to try to have some control over the spending, right? So $250, excuse me, $250 plus 35 plus 35 plus 100. I got that from the 50/50. That is $420. Okay. We're going to do 420. We're going to take 420 and we're going to subtract $15,953.24. Now we got $15,533. It's crazy. It's just such a big number. But I keep thinking like, isn't this just Looney Toony? But then I remember, you know what, girl? You were working and you were not getting paid. So yeah. So now we're going to head over to our savings. Okay. Let's color this in a little bit because that's what I like. And I do right sideways. Sorry, cannot help it. Okay, so we're going to just write out the categories because these are important. So we have our house account. And the goal has always been to give our house account at least $1,000 from each paycheck. But obviously we did not do that because I was going to work and I wasn't getting paid. Now, that means that we have to pay our house account back. Now you also see broke. It says O broke and M broke, but it's brokerages. And these are, I don't want to say new topics, but we usually do not give to these accounts. I'm being honest. But because my husband and I have been looking over our numbers, we've been, like assessing some things. So when we talk about house, we have what we owe is $1,000 for every check that we did not give. Okay. So October 1st paycheck, we didn't give $1,000. October 2nd paycheck, we didn't give $1,000. November 1st paycheck, we didn't give $1,000. And November 2nd paycheck, we need to give $1,000. So that means we're going to owe our house account $4,000. And that's what we're going to put here. $4,000. Okay. Now, O brokerage and Mo's brokerage. So when it comes to my husband and I, we do have our IRA accounts and we try our darnest, okay? Hear me when I say it. We try our darnest to max out our IRAs, but we're not ever successful. I was going to say not always, but that would be a lie because, girl, you do not be successful. But we will be, okay? I'm just trying to speak it up. I'm speaking life. But we haven't been successful previously. So our goal is always don't give our money to any other brokerages that we have. Let's just give it to the IRA and keep just flushing that out, right? But we kind of looked at our numbers because we're trying to assess our 1025. And I was like, dang, you don't touch that account. He's like, no. He's like, do you touch that account? And I'm like, no. So we was like, you know what? It's going to be a little bit more money than usual that we bring in. So what we're going to do is touch that account. So what we decided to do, try to give the explanation as good as possible, is give each other $500 to go in this brokerage. So I have an M1 brokerage and a Fidelity brokerage. My husband has an M1 brokerage, and I'm trying to think of what the other company is. Maybe Robinhood. I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head. So I'm going to split the numbers between those two brokerage, and I don't know what my husband's going to do. Maybe he'll split it. Maybe he won't. Then my husband's IRA is with Fidelity, and he is going to give $1,000. No, I have an M1 brokerage and a Fidelity brokerage. Did I say that? I hope I did. And then my IRA is with Schwab, and I'm going to give that $1,000. Okay. Then when it comes to our sinking fund, I mean, obviously holiday season is upon us, but my husband and I agreed that we're going to try to not spend a lot of money this holiday season because, again, one, we might end up in another government shutdown. And two, like, it's not feeling so holly jolly. I don't know what I was trying to say. Ho, ho, ho. I don't know. But obviously, well, this might not be obvious, but we will travel for Christmas. But when it comes to big gifts and stuff, we're just not doing it. I'm not saying we're not going to give anybody anything, but we usually spend, at least me, I usually spend $150, $200 on a gift for elders in my family. But we're just trying to rethink that. Now, listen, let's talk at the end of December and see if I stuck to it, because I'm going to try, guys. I'm going to try. But usually if they ask, I'm like, oh, okay. But we just don't feel like we're in a space, just because, one, we don't know when, how the next government shutdown is going to affect us or how long it's going to last. Like, nobody had a clue that this was going to be like 15 freaking days. Anyways, so is that all for savings? I think so. So we have, can you guys see this? Let's do it again. So we have $4,000 plus $1,000. That's 500 and 500. That's 1,000. And then 1, 2, 3. And then plus 3,000. So that is going to be $8,000. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just wanted to make sure again. Okay. I fear it's going to be a lot more money left over. Let's see. Okay. So now it's going to be a lot, but let's do the 8,000 and let's just do it the regular way. Okay. So we got $15,533.24. Now we're going to subtract 8,000. We have $7,533.24. Okay. 7,533.24. Now we're going to move on to debt. So it's a couple things. We have our credit cards, my credit card, my husband's credit card, and then we have our student freaking loans. My student loans and my husband's student loans. Now, let's just get into it because this is ridiculoso. So O's credit card and Mo's credit card and O's loan, which is his student loan, and then Mo's S loan, which is my student loan. I have not paid my student loans or his since September. So we haven't paid it. So yes, you can only imagine the amount of interest it is accruing, and I'm just, it's just so cringy. Okay. Now, credit cards, that's also cringy. So, but we're going to just pay it off and live life. So $1,321.83. I know what you're thinking. You're like, gross. And I'm just like, you know what? Life happens. So that's $1,321.83. One more time, $1,321.83. Okay. Now my credit card higher. Duh, of course it's higher, girl. You was shopping. I was shopping like it was nobody's business. I was like, you know what? Y'all don't want to pay me. I'm just going to put myself in debt. Okay. Delusional, but that's what I did. $1,473.22. So plus $1,473.22. So our credit card is $2,795.05. Insanity. Now, just a little bit of credit here, guys, before you guys come for me. We kind of had a little bit of debt. These are like our open door, rollover, whatever the saying is called, credit cards. But I was definitely going to TJ Maxx. I was like, you know what? I want to do this. I want to do that. I don't know. Was I bored? Was I delusional? Was it seasonal depression? I really don't know. I know that to help me stop spending, your girl been going to the gym a lot, okay? She needs something to do. Go work out, bookie butt. Okay, so $2,795.05 worth of freaking credit card debts. Boo. But it is what it is. We're paying it off like responsible adults. Kind of, sort of. I know you're thinking, you're like, that's after the fact. Now, when it comes to student loan debt, my student loans, I have about 50 something. I don't remember the number. I'm not going to lie, because I have not touched those student loans in a minute. But I have 50 something thousand, and my husband has in the teens, right? So that means since my number's higher, I'm accruing more interest. So my husband and I, you're probably thinking these numbers are not going to be fair, but this is what we decided to do, because my student loans, I think, have grown in interest about 5 something, like $100. My husband's maybe like $1. So what we decided to do, okay, take a deep breath. Now, $1,000 for him. Ooh, and this number right here is going to be really high, guys. It's going to be really high. I don't know why I always try to talk in an accent. To me, I feel like my accents are really good. But to others, people are like, girl, stop that now. Okay, so this altogether is $3,795.05. I want to subtract, I just want to see, $7,533.24. That's $3,738.19. And you're thinking, you're not going to get that to your student loan. Yes, I am. Let me hold your hand while I say this. I am. I'm going to give it to my student loans. Say hello to my student loans. Actually, it's not all of it. A little less, because we decided to have a little cushion in our account. Is it still zero base? It is still zero base, because that money is going to have somewhere to go. You know what I mean? That money is just going to be, if something we forget about, a little bill. But if everything is good, it'll just, and I say in our account, it'll be in our bill account. It'll be a little extra towards our bill account, just in case. We like to be just in caseies. And let me tell you, after this debacle, okay, we're still just in caseies. Now, my student loans, what do we decide to do? It was crazy because the number here is very, very specific. So let me see. $3,738.19. $3,738.19. And what we put was 3 minus 3,638. Okay. So that's $100. $3,638. 638. And I'm just going to put 19 so it can be zeroed out. Now we're going to say safe, even though this is not really debt, but we're going to put safe, and we're going to say 100. Now let's do some math. We got 100 plus $3,638.19 plus $1,000. That's towards my husband's student loans, plus $1,473. This is so yucky. 22 cents plus $1,321 and 83 cents, maybe. Was that 83 cents? 13, 21, 83. Yes, it was. Woo! That is the total right there. That's a lot of money. That's almost as much money as savings, but at least our savings was higher, okay? Don't come for us, okay? Technically we got to give, like, maybe we technically saved $8,100 because that saved is like $8,100. I don't know. Okay, $7,533.24. The remaining is zero, zilch, nothing, nunca. Okay, I don't even know that's how you say it, but that's how I said it. So this is gonna be cash. Okay, so cash. Now I try to do cash in like reels or whatever because, you know, a little short content. You know, your girl's trying to be young and fun, okay? She's trying to be young, fun, and perky. We can do it. Okay, is there another one? We're going to do yellow. Yellow is going to be safe. Not cash, but safe money. Now, something we did not put here was our cash family fund. My husband and I, we decided that we was going to pause on that. For this, we wanted to gain back our savings and hit this debt, okay? Those are the two. Even though Cash Family Fund is savings, but we have about $2,000 in that. So we're happy with those numbers, but I'm just being honest. That's the reason why we didn't tap that. I'm on the go, tap that, and I budget. You know what I mean? So grateful that your girl got paid and my numbers were correct. I did hear a lot of people say that their numbers were not correct when they got paid, when they're back pay. And I'm so sorry for those people. And I pray for them, because imagine not getting paid and then you're not getting paid and you still have to go to work. And then people, they try to play you with your money. Like, you worked for that money and then they try to play you. That is insane. That is robbery and thievery. And I really do genuinely feel sorry for them people. Like, I know people personally who's going through that. So I really hope and pray that these people get their money back, their time that they put into work, their job. I know this is illegal. You can't just let people work and not get paid. I mean, whatever. I don't know. I have empathy and sympathy for everybody who has been going through this. I pray that everybody get their money, and when they get their money, they start acting different, okay? That this is a telltale sign that we can't do what we used to do. The job market out here is crazy. It's just so much going on. So if you were not getting paid because of the government shutdown and you got back pay and your money is no longer funny, I hope you are being a good steward of your money, because that's what I'm trying to do. And I hope you guys plan, have money saved, and do all the things. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.